Rainbows is such an important part of so many local lives, and yet there aren't many of us who know the real history behind it. How did it get started?
Rainbows. It started in 1961 with my in-laws, Seiju and Ifuku. You know, they owned a bunch of restaurants in Honolulu, and they owned a drive-in with car hops. When they lost the lease there, that's when they decided to open Rainbows. And they took the plate lunch concept from the lunch wagons that were in existence and put it into a fixed location rather than have car hops. Seiju always said that he believes that he was one of the first drive-ins to serve plate lunches.
How much of that menu is true back to its original roots? How much has it changed?
The basic menu of the barbecue steak, the chili, the stews, anybody that's eaten plate lunches in Hawaii knows that those are the traditional must-have items. And over the years, we've had great employees and cooks that have added things. But you know, if we add something every 10 years, that's pretty fast for us.
What's your best seller at Rainbows?
The mixed plate. It's kind of the sampler. You know, it's a piece of teriyaki beef and boneless chicken cutlet and mahi-mahi, and by far that's our most popular plate.
We have lost so many local traditions and businesses, even in just the last 5 years. So many things that were important to our history and culture have gone away. Keeping a family business alive decade after decade is not easy. Are you surprised at the success that Rainbows has had all this time?
I am totally surprised by the longevity of Rainbow Drive-In, and I know my father-in-law, Seiju, never imagined in his wildest dreams that Rainbows would be around for 50 years.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. But we're glad to keep it alive, and we have to keep it alive. So we're trying our best to move into the future and keep continuity with some succession planning. It's easy in the sense that we have a great customer base. We have such loyal customers that keep coming back to us. So it's really a pleasure, and it's not difficult. But it is difficult to keep managing it on a day-to-day basis, to try to keep the consistency, to try to meet the expectations of everyone day after day, year after year, decade after decade. That's the real challenge.
You mentioned you've gotten a boost in business from some TV programs recently.
We really were fortunate in that Guy Fieri on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives and featured us, and we're still reaping the benefit of that.
And you've gotten some shout-outs on Hawaii Five-0 too.
Yeah, we did. You know, we did it not so much for the publicity or the exposure, but it was great. It was fun.
Well, tell us about the new venture that's going strong now next to Rainbow.
Well, next to Rainbow, you know, if you've been down to Rainbows on the weekends and stuff, sometimes the lines are so long, and it's sometimes tough for local people to put up with that and get into it. So when the space next door became available, I kind of thought that we would want to invite maybe some other places in, because I didn't see much use in having two Rainbows next to each other.
So it's called Hawaii's Favorite Kitchen.
Hawaii's Favorite Kitchens, yes.
Yeah.
So Waffle Dogs, Dayton Asato and Daryl Uezu, who does Hoku Chicken, and Elmer from Pokestop. So we invited them to come in and join us in this venture, and they were very agreeable. To be able to work with these guys and learn from them and see their products and how they do stuff is really an amazing thing. I mean, Waffle Dogs, you know, was such an iconic thing to have in Kapahulu, and so we thought that we'd bring it back and offer it to people. And of course, we do the Waffle Dogs for Dayton, but it's his batter. We use his Waffle Dog machines. Nobody has those kind of machines in Hawaii, and they're made on site. And the barbecue chicken that's turned out there on charcoal, you can get that mostly at fundraisers, and you got to drive around town and look for it. And when you want it, you can't always get it. So he has a guy out there every day.
I see him in the parking lot.
Barbecuing this chicken for us. You can get it when you want it, yeah. Pokestop has a couple employees that come in and actually cut the fish every day. And we offer brown rice here, which we don't at Rainbow Drive-In. And then you can get macaroni salad or steamed vegetables.
That's big.
In addition to,
You're making me hungry right now.
And of course, Rainbow's is right next door. So the food that we serve from Rainbow's, we just bring over from next door.
So for now, until the visitors find out really about this place, this is sort of a hideout for the locals who don't want to wait in line
That's
next
right.
door.
It's really a good time to come visit.
And Hiroshi's involved with you in this venture.
Well, Hiroshi grew up in Kapahulu. I saw him eating at Rainbows and had said hello to him and knew that he ate here. And when his talent became available, and I happened to see him in line, and one day, and I said, "Hey Hiroshi, what do you think?" And a couple days later, he called back and said, "Hey, I think it's something I might be interested in."
And for those who may not know, that's Hiroshi Fukui, who is an executive chef and a restaurateur himself.
Yes.
You're very active in community service in what you can do. Why is that important to you?
It's important because of what the community has given to Rainbows. I mean, if you look at the success of any business, it's mostly the people and the community that support them. We don't have the resources to build a building like Weinberg's, those kind of people. We do have a foundation, and that foundation supports scholarships for culinary arts. It supports community-based organizations, so we have helped support several elementary schools in the area by helping to buy playground equipment and sports equipment. So it just makes all kinds of sense to give back.
What do you hope a visiting customer takes away from an experience at either of these restaurants?
If you come to Rainbows, you see construction workers, right? You see surfers, you see volleyball players, you see kids, you see people in business attire. So that's what Hawaii is, So I'm hoping that a tourist coming will see that, this food, this atmosphere brings people in and to Hawaii, and they have a little better appreciation, a little bit better insight as to what Hawaii is, who we are.
Well, even after your 20 years of service to the company, you seem pretty on fire. Are you still enjoying what you do?
I really enjoy it. I'm a customer service kind of guy, and the margins are really slim in restaurants. It's really tough to make profit and a lot of money. You have to like people, and you have to like serving people. It's not something that you dabble in. It's something that you're committed to, and it takes hours and hours and hours of time to prepare and cook, and especially when you're growing a business. Before you get into a restaurant or food service, you gotta have the commitment. This is all about making people happy, and so I really enjoy it. Let's go get something to eat.
Twist my arm.